Kitchen cabinets are one of the only purchases in your wall in an afternoon. You can swap out a light fixture in 20 minutes. But cabinets? Replacing them means ripping out countertops. Today, we're covering 7 cabinet decisions that homeowners regret most. Mistake number 1. The corner cabinet. Money pit. Let's start with the most wasted space in the average kitchen. Corner cabinets. Every kitchen with an L-shape or U-shape layout has at least one. And the standard solution, a deep cabinet with a fixed shelf and maybe a basic Lazy Susan, creates a dead zone that swallows everything you put in it. Items slide off the rotating shelf, get wedged in the gaps, and disappear into corners you simply cannot reach without crouching down, which, as many of us know, gets less appealing with every passing year. The result? You paid for cabinet space that you barely use, and the expensive fix, a magic corner insert, can run several $100s per corner. That's a lot of money for space that might still frustrate you. What to do instead? This decision should be based entirely on how much you need the storage, not on what the salesperson recommends. If your kitchen is spacious enough that you're not desperate for every inch, block the corner off entirely with a decorative panel or facade. It's the cheapest option, eliminates the problem completely, and makes the cabinets flanking it fully functional. One homeowner did exactly this and has never missed the space. If you genuinely need the storage, a bifold door paired with pull-out shelves is the practical middle ground. It gives you far better access than a fixed shelf or Lazy Susan without the premium price. And if your budget allows, the blind corner pull-out with sliding trays is excellent. Just verify your cabinet opening width first, because there are minimum size requirements and some existing cabinets are too narrow to retrofit. That's wasted space. But the next money mistake affects every single lower cabinet in your kitchen. Mistake number 2. Paying for lower cabinets. You can't actually use standard lower cabinets. A door, one fixed shelf, and a deep dark space are the cheapest option in every cabinet line. And that's why most people end up with a kitchen full of them. The savings per unit add up fast when you're buying 15 or 20 cabinets. But here's the math nobody does in the showroom. You're paying for 24 inches of depth in every base cabinet. If you're like most people, you're using the front 12. The back half is a graveyard of forgotten items. So you paid for storage, but you're only getting half of it. Multiply that across every base cabinet in your kitchen, and you've paid for a significant amount of space you'll never use. What to do instead? All-drawer base cabinets are the gold standard in 2026. Pull a drawer out and everything is visible, organized, and accessible. No bending, no crouching, no digging around in the dark. This isn't just about organization. For anyone who finds it uncomfortable to kneel on a kitchen floor to reach the back of a cabinet, drawers are a genuine quality of life improvement. Deep drawers handle pots, pans, baking sheets, and even small appliances with ease. They are more expensive per unit, pots but you're actually using 100% of the space you paid for. That changes the math entirely. If all drawer bases push your budget past its limit, and that is completely understandable. There's a compromise most salespeople won't mention because it doesn't require buying new cabinets at all. Retrofit pull-out shelves into your existing base cabinets. Full extension trays from brands like renovation give you nearly the same accessibility at a fraction of the cost. Quality options run about $80 to $100 per unit. You don't have to replace every cabinet to get a dramatic improvement. Start with the one that frustrates you most and add more over time. 2 money mistakes down. But the third one costs you money in a way most people never consider, until it's too late. Mistake number 3. The finish that tanks your kitchen's value. Your cabinet finish is the first thing anyone notices when they walk into your kitchen. And in 2026, certain finishes don't just look dated, they actively work against your home's perceived value. Whether you're planning to enjoy this kitchen for decades or thinking about selling in a few years, the finish sends an immediate signal about how current or outdated your home feels. Glazed or shadowed wood finishes, that darker wash that was everywhere in the early 2000s, instantly date a kitchen. And the problem isn't just aesthetic. Over time, the glaze degrades unevenly, peeling in patches and revealing bare wood underneath while the surrounding area stays dark. High gloss fronts look impeccable on day 1 and become a cleaning disaster by day 30. Every fingerprint and water droplet is magnified. The industry has moved decisively toward matte and satin finishes that conceal daily wear while still looking refined. And ornate, heavily carved door profiles, raised panels with arches and deep moldings, collect dust in every groove, are harder to clean, and increasingly read as dated. What to do instead? Clean lines, forgiving surfaces, and warm tones. A classic shaker, a slim shaker, or a flat slab front, all in a matte or satin finish. For color, the shift is toward creamy whites, taupes, greiges, and natural wood tones like white oak and walnut. And if you love real wood, cherry, oak, walnut, and prefer a natural stain over paint, that is a perfectly beautiful choice. Well-maintained wood cabinets with a clean profile have a warmth that painted cabinets simply can't replicate. That covers the decisions that waste your money. Now the ones that waste your time every single day. Mistake number 4, the cabinet color. Nobody told you the truth about. Here's the advice you've probably heard. Avoid light colors on your lower cabinets because they show every scuff, every handprint, every speck of dust. And there's truth to that. White or cream-based cabinets in a busy kitchen will show marks that darker cabinets hide. But here's what that advice conveniently leaves out. Dark cabinets are not easier to keep clean. Fingerprints show up as lighter smudges on dark surfaces. Water spots become visible halos. Dust shows up as a gray film. Homeowners with black and dark gray cabinets report wiping them down just as often as homeowners with white ones. The color doesn't eliminate cleaning. It just changes what kind of dirt you see. What to do? Instead, choose your cabinet color based on the kitchen you want to live in, not based on fear of maintenance. Every tone has trade-offs. Medium tones in the warm neutral range, taupes, warm greiges, natural wood tend to be the most forgiving in real daily life. If you're doing a two-tone kitchen, lighter uppers and a warmer or deeper tone on the lowers still makes practical sense since lowers take significantly more physical contact. But if you love white and you're willing to give them a quick wipe regularly, enjoy your white kitchen. Several homeowners with white kitchens report being perfectly happy with the choice years later. Cabinet color affects how often you grab a cleaning cloth. But the next mistake creates a daily frustration that goes far beyond wiping surfaces. And it's the one that generates more heated debate than almost anything else in kitchen design. Mistake number 5, the pull-out trash can that becomes your worst enemy. Pull-out trash cans are nearly standard in kitchen renovations now, and the concept is appealing. Hide the trash behind a cabinet face, keep your kitchen looking clean. But real life with a pull-out trash system involves 2 problems that nobody in the showroom mentions. The first is placement. The conventional advice says never put it directly beside the sink, and there's a reason for that. If the dishwasher is on the same side and 2 people are trying to work that zone at once, the trash drawer can block the workflow. Whether you're the one cooking or your husband is, that bottleneck gets frustrating fast. That said, plenty of homeowners have their pull-out trash right next to the sink and love it. If your dishwasher is on the opposite side and you have enough clearance for the drawer to open without blocking the walkway, it can work beautifully. The key is the specific layout of your kitchen, not a blanket rule. Other strong options include one cabinet over from the sink, inside an island, or near your main prep area. But placement is the smaller problem. The bigger one is hygiene, and this is the issue that generates the most complaints from people who actually live with these systems. A pull-out bin sits inside a closed cabinet, typically without a sealed lid. Food scraps, moisture, and warmth get trapped in an enclosed, dark space. Over time, liquids leak through bags, coat the cabinet interior, and create odor that absorbs into the material itself. In warmer months, that combination attracts fruit flies, ants, and in some cases even cockroaches. And if you live in Florida, Texas, Georgia, or anywhere across the South where heat and humidity are year-round realities, this problem is significantly worse. What to do instead? Separate wet food waste from dry trash. Use a countertop compost container for food scraps. Empty it daily. Keep only dry trash in the pullout. This single change reduces odor and pests dramatically. Look for systems with an integrated lid that seals when closed. Or use a quality freestanding stainless steel trash can with a sealed pedal lid. It can be moved, cleaned easily, and doesn't sacrifice cabinet space. Sometimes the simplest approach works best. That handles the time wasters. But the final section covers something worse than wasted money or wasted time. Actual physical damage to your kitchen that happens silently, behind closed doors, and can cost thousands to repair. Mistake number 6, the material under your sink that's quietly disintegrating. The cabinet under your kitchen sink is under constant siege. Plumbing connections, dishwasher drain lines, splashes, condensation, and the inevitable small leak that goes unnoticed for days. This cabinet will encounter moisture. Not if, when. If that sink base is made of unprotected particle board, which was common in builder-grade kitchens for decades, water exposure causes it to swell, soften, and eventually crumble. Once particle board absorbs moisture, the damage is irreversible. And because the sink base supports your countertop, structural damage here can compromise the entire counter surface above it, potentially requiring both cabinet and countertop replacement. What to do instead? For the sink base specifically, insist on either plywood or high-quality melamine-coated board, with all cut edges and drill holes properly sealed. Here's an important nuance. What matters most is the protection on the material, not just the material itself. A well-sealed melamine cabinet can actually outperform bare, unfinished plywood, because unprotected plywood absorbs water too. The rule is simple: no unsealed material under the sink. It costs a little more upfront, but it's dramatically cheaper than replacing a cabinet and countertop later. Mistake number 7, the feature that's damaging your cabinets from the inside. This last one is a feature that most people are actively excited about installing, which makes it the most dangerous kind of mistake, because you don't realize it's a problem until the damage is already done. Appliance garages, dedicated cabinet enclosures that hide your coffee maker, toaster, blender, and other countertop appliances behind doors. They look incredible in photos. Clean countertops, everything tucked away, streamlined perfection. But in real kitchens, 3 problems emerge. First, daily frustration. If you use your coffee maker multiple times a day, opening and closing cabinet doors every single time isn't a convenience. It's an annoyance that builds over months and years. Second, lost counter space. An appliance garage permanently occupies a section of your countertop. And in smaller kitchens, that's prep space you simply can't afford to lose. But the third problem is the real danger, and it's the one almost nobody mentions. Steam and heat from coffee makers, toasters, and microwaves get trapped inside the enclosed cabinet. Over time, that repeated cycle of heat and moisture causes warping, peeling finishes, delamination of materials, and in poorly ventilated enclosures, mold growth. You're essentially creating a sauna inside a wooden box and slowly destroying the cabinetry from the inside out. What to do instead? Be honest about which appliances you use daily versus weekly. Items you use once or twice a week, a blender, a food processor, are perfect for enclosed storage. Pull them out when you need them, put them back when you're done. Items you use multiple times daily, coffee maker, toaster, are probably better on the counter in a dedicated station with a simple open shelf above. And if you do build an appliance garage, insist on proper ventilation, a vented back panel, or enough clearance for heat and steam to escape. Leave the doors open during use and for 15 to 20 minutes afterward. 7 decisions. 3 ways they hurt you. Wasted money on space you never use, wasted time on maintenance that never ends, and physical damage that happens quietly behind closed doors. If you remember 3 things from this video: first, be strategic with your corners and your lowers. Drawers or pull-out shelves pay for themselves in usable storage and daily comfort. Second, separate your wet food waste from your dry trash. It solves the smell, the pests, and the cleaning nightmare in one move. And third, protect the 2 most vulnerable spots in your kitchen: the material under your sink, and the airspace inside any enclosed appliance cabinet. This is your kitchen. If you're doing this renovation to create the space you've always wanted, the one you'll enjoy every single day, these are the decisions that make the difference between a kitchen that works for you and one that quietly works against you. If this saved you from even one expensive mistake, share it with someone who's planning a kitchen renovation. It could save them thousands and years of daily frustration.